And now let's take a look at the insights from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US, where Modi met Ukrainian President Volodymr Zelenskyy on the sidelines of the United Nations Summit of the Future in New York. Modi reiterated India's consistent support for a peaceful resolution of the Ukraine conflict through diplomacy and dialogue. Zelenskyy expressed gratitude for India's backing of Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, calling the talk substantive and focused on international cooperation. Big breaking news coming in from the US, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi was part of the United Nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with Ukrainian President Volodymr Zelenskyy at the sidelines of the United Nations Summit of the Future in New York, and he reiterated that India's consistent support for a peaceful resolution the Ukraine conflict through diplomacy and dialogue would continue. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian President Volodymr Zelenskyy expressed gratitude for India's backing of Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, calling the talk substantive and focused on international cooperation. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also addressed the United Nations Summit of the Future at the United Nations General Assembly in New York and called for reforms in the global institutions and termed them as key to relevance. He also expressed India's willingness to share its experiences of success with the Global South. Watch this report for more.
On the third day of his US visit, Prime Minister Modi addressed the United Nations Summit of Future. Giving a strong message, he called for reforms of global institutions as key to relevance.
और वैश्विक शांति एवं विकास के लिए ग्लोबल संस्थाओं में रिफॉर्म्स आवश्यक है. रिफॉर्म इज द की टू रिलेवेंस. अफ्रीकन यूनियन को नई दिल्ली समिट में G20 की स्थायी सदस्यता इसी दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम था.
Expressing willingness to share India's experiences of success with Global South, the Prime Minister said that India lifted 250 million people out of poverty.
भारत में 250 मिलियन लोगों को गरीबी से बाहर निकालकर हमने यह दिखाया है कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट कैन बी सक्सेसफुल. सक्सेस का हमारा यह अनुभव हम ग्लोबल साउथ के साथ साझा करने के लिए तैयार है.
The Prime Minister also called terrorism a serious threat to global peace, adding that the success of humanity lies in our collective strength and not on the battlefield.